Dan, I think we have an update on the flu shots because apparently Dave is standing by with Jen Corbin to talk about the mobile crisis team. Dave?
Thanks, guys. Look, I'm alive. Can you believe it? I survived the zombie attack.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know I almost called the mobile crisis team, but I didn't need it because I got my flu shot. Jen, thanks for joining us today, and wanted to ask you a little bit about the training that the mobile crisis team is doing with the police department. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. This is a big initiative that the chief of police has done to train every officer in mental health first aid, which is an 8-hour course. We're doing it down at the academy during their in-service. And what is great about this is we're giving the officers another tool for their tool belt when they go out on calls. So they arrive on a call, and we're hoping that they'll start working on assessing the scene, figuring out ways that they could maybe handle it differently right off the bat if they identify someone has a mental health or a substance use disorder while they're waiting for mobile crisis to be en route, because there is that time frame where they have to interact before our mobile crisis team can arrive. And the exciting point to this is this will be the first county, and actually from what Mental Health First Aid is saying, in the United States that will have all of their officers trained. So this is a big push. It's taking us 4 months to do, but at the end I think we'll have a really good result.
And it's important because we've seen many cases over the years where I can think of several where the police arrive on the scene, there's a mental health issue, the person is not in their right frame of mind, and the police might misunderstand the situation. It could get deadly very quickly.
Right, and the class talks about identifying, assessing, listening, but the key to it all is the de-escalation piece. What can you do? What words can you have ready that can kind of calm someone down just to get them settled enough to assess them? Because a lot of times when you arrive on scene, someone is in a huge crisis, and how do we get them calm first so that we can assess what's going on? And this is a really good way because our officers are always the first one on scene, and just having them have that ability to kind of take it down a notch, de-escalate the situation, and then figure out what's going on and radioing for mobile is going to make a big difference versus coming in strong and not figuring out what's going on. We're trying to work on least lethal ways to deal with the mentally ill.
Yeah, because I was going to say that police are, of course, trained in diffusing a situation, but when it's a stressful or dangerous situation, I think they're trained to basically neutralize the situation physically. Mm-hmm. And so I guess you help them learn how to talk to the person and identify that this isn't your classic kind of situation where there's a bad guy and he's going to try and hurt you. It's more a case of someone who is in a state of mind where they're not sure what's going on and they're reacting to how they feel more than the person in front of them.
Right. And the big issue here is asking the right questions. And I don't know that they've always been equipped to ask the right questions. You know, are you seeing someone? Are you currently on medications? Asking those questions to get a little bit of background helps us understand what situation we're dealing with. If someone's just currently off their medication, then there's some fixes that mobile crisis can help right away with, which is getting them linked with the provider. But getting there and asking the right questions is really going to open up that understanding for the officer. And within this class, they do a lot of role play in a lot of different scenarios where they're understanding schizophrenia, hearing voices, delusions, things that they're going to run across when people are unmedicated. Mm-hmm. And puts an unsafe situation in the community. But if we can get it under control quickly and get them back to their provider, and the officer recognizes that, that's going to be huge for the county as a whole, because that puts patrol back on the street quicker. Mm-hmm. And allows them to be available for the next call.
Well, it's a great service that you're providing to the police department. It seems like every day the mobile crisis team is doing more and more, and we really appreciate that. Give me your quick, 20-second on what the mobile crisis team is and how people can reach you and in what situation they should call.
Mobile crisis is 2 licensed clinicians that are countywide. They're accessed through either a police call or through the warm line, which can be reached at 410-768-5522, which there's an operator on 24 hours a day. And they can talk to that person first, and then we can assess to see if mobile crisis needs to go out. But they're 2 licensed clinicians that can come out and help link people to the services they need in the county.
And substance abuse
and
also.
Substance use, yeah. Well, that's a combined, yeah. There's no wrong call to the warm line is what we call it, that phone number. But we are definitely helping addicts as well, linking them with providers. So substance use disorders, mental health, and also social situations. We're getting a lot of calls for homelessness and linking people with resources who are in risk of losing their housing.
You're a victim of your own success. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Dave. And man, we are glad you are alive.
Yes.
We're also kind of wondering why you were missing and that didn't even lead the news.